small glitch what we had. However, Prabhuji is not from United States, definitely. So we'll have some issues regarding the timelines. But he has been very kind enough to join us. His Grace Chandan Yatra Prabhu, on behalf of entire ISKCON Boston, I would like to welcome His Grace Chandan Yatra Prabhu to our ISKCON Boston Yatra. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining us, despite of whatever difficulties we had in communication. But however, we are very happy to have you again, have you for the first time at ISKCON Boston. So just to briefly introduce His Grace Chandan Yatra Prabhu, who's well known everywhere. However, let me take this opportunity and introduce him. He lives in Canberra, Australia. So, you can understand the time zone is a little different. Since 2009, he has traveled to various holy dhams across India, especially covering the holy places connected with pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His associates, Vaishnava Acharyas, and Lord Krishna. He has prepared over 16 articles covering South India, Navadvip Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, Dwarka Dham, Northeast India, Kashmir, Ujjain Yatra, Nashik Yatra, Pandharpur Yatra, Ekachakra Dham, Kurukshetra. He publishes all these articles and this travels on website holy-pilgrimages.com. And quite often you may have seen his emails in your mailbox sending us the different yatra articles. So Prabhuji is an initiated disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So let us wholeheartedly welcome His Grace Chandan Yatra Prabhu to our ISKCON Boston. Haribo!
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Thank you so much, dear devotee. Just one thing, just the camera. Okay. Thank you so much.
Chandan Yatra Prabhu. Oh, just 1 minute, sorry. So I just would like to know, Kaushik Prabhu, can you just update to the devotee? Are you there, Kaushik Prabhu? Or Rajpati yes. Prabhu? Yeah, Prabhu, just update that there is, because of some reason, we have rescheduled the lecture, and now the lecture is happening now. And so that people who can able to join, they would be able to join. Okay, and mention also the title that it is it's a Navadvip Dham, the Yatra which he is going to speak about. Okay, yeah. So over to Chandan Yatra Prabhu, much without any delay. So,
no Prabhu, problem, please. Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All goes to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and all my obeisances to all the devotees present. I'm extremely sorry, my mistake. Like we did discuss, I discussed with One Mali Prabhu, but seems there was some bit of a glitch with the communication. We did not communicate, so missed out the session. But mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all you Vaishnavas, and One Mali Prabhu is so magnanimous. Somehow we are able to join here from Australia, very far, because here at the moment the time is 10:38 a.m. on Sunday morning, and I believe it's around 7:30 in your time back in Boston. So it's a big time difference, but by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are one family connected. And what better day to join for the presentation just before the Gaura Purnima. Gaura Purnima here in Australia is tomorrow, Monday, but I believe in many parts of the world, which is today. So very beautiful day to discuss some pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And today we are going to cover the Sri Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. And I'll just take you through various islands of Navadvip Dham and the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu over there. So we'll just try and cover that. I'll do the screen share. Okay. The screen somehow like. Am I able? Is my screen appearing? This one, this with the PPT.
Not yet, Prabhu. No.
Not yet. It's not appearing. Okay. Yeah, it should appear now. Okay. Is it appearing now?
We can see us.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So Okay, so we are now going to discuss about Sri Navadip Mandal Parikrama, the 9 transcendental islands of Sri Navadip Dham, and the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates on these transcendental islands. So Nava means 9 and Dweep means island. So Navadip Dham is in the shape of islands, and there are totally 9 islands, and which are in the shape of a lotus flower. And at the center of the lotus flower is the central island, which is called Antadvip Island. And this island is the actual spot of where Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared over 500 years back. And each of these 9 islands, they represent different processes of devotion. Like the first island, the Antadvip Island, represents the Atma Nivedanam process. Second, the Sri Simantadvip represents Shravanam. Godrum Dweep represents Kirtanam, Madhya Dweep represents Smaranam, Kola Dweep represents Padasevanam, Ritu Dweep represents Archanam, Jahanu Dweep represents Vandanam, Modron Dweep represents Dasyam, and the lastly, the Rudra Dweep represents Sakyam, process of devotional services. So on each of these islands, there are many places of where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates performed many pastimes. These islands um, are joined by the different tributaries of Ganges River, which is called Jalangi River in the local area. So there are totally 9 tributaries which divide these islands. So going from one island to another, one has to take a boat. So beautiful there, and each of the islands, most of them are very lush green and very amazing natural beauty. And each year, about 10 days before Gaura Purnima festival, ISKCON Mayapur conducts Sri Navadip Mandal Parikrama. And this is really very popular. And here, thousands and thousands of devotees from all over the world, they join. And there are 4 Parikrama parties. One is the international party. Second is the Russian party. Third is the Hindi-speaking party. And lastly, the local Namhatta Bengali-speaking party. So there are, you can imagine how many people are there, and for each of them, the Mayapur management arranges accommodation as well. Whoever wants to stay on each of these islands overnight, so there are elaborate facilities for prasadam, for travel, and everything. And it's an amazing because we get to have associations of so many spiritual masters in ISKCON who travel and walk with us and give us all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's an amazing parikrama. Please do join whenever possible. So if we have time, we'll also cover some of the places which are just outside the Navadip Dham, like Gauranga Bari temple in Katwa, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Yaji Gram, where Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Shivas Acharya, and Ramachandra Kaviraj stayed, the Panihati Yatra, which is famous for the Panihati Chira Dahi festival with Raghunath Das Goswami and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Ekachakra Dham, which is about 3.5 hours distance from Navadip. It is the birthplace of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, an amazing place. Then Ulta Danga Junction, which is the place where Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for the first time. Then the ISKCON Kolkata Temple, Radha Govinda Mandir. So we can also get live coverage of Mayapur ISKCON Temple, the darshans of Shri Radha Madhav Panchtatva and Lord Narasimhadev, live 24 hours practically on mayapur.tv. And as I was mentioning, Sri Navadip Mandal Parikrama, it is organized by ISKCON every year. It's been organized for many years now. And this is one quick glimpse of how many people, many devotees from all around the world walking through the lanes and the villages all across Navadip Dham. And then, as I was mentioning, to travel from one island to another, one has to catch a ferry. The boat, which is available during the Parikrama time, ISKCON Mayapur management arranges the different boats, facilities for devotees to travel together. And here's the glimpse of Srila Prabhupada walking near the Yoga Peeth temple in Antardvip island. Now, Yoga Peeth is the place, the actual birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is in the Antardvip island. Antar means secret and Dvip means island. And this island is where Lord Shri Krishna revealed his internal secret feelings about his appearance as Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the other places here are the Shiva Sangan, Advaita Bhavan, Gadatar Bhavan, Sri Chaitanya Mat, Murari Gupta's house, ISKCON, Mayapur Chandrodaya Temple, Ishodhyan, the Nanda Nacharya's house. We'll cover them now. Yoga Peeth is the first place. It is the actual site of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur established this site in 1893. And the way this site was established was that at that time, in 1800s, by that time, many places in the Navdeep Dham had lost because of the changing currents of the Ganges River. And so the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also lost. Then one day what happened, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was chanting his Hare Krishna Japa in his balcony in Kodrung Dweep. And while he was chanting, he suddenly saw the images of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu dancing in one direction of the Navdeep Dham. And next day again, while he was chanting during the same time, he saw the same divine vision. At one particular corner, Gaur Nitai were dancing. So, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was deeply thinking and meditating that which is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then he went to, after his chanting, he went to that particular place, crossed the Janangi River, went to that particular place where exactly Gaur Nitai was dancing. And he found out there was a big forest of tulsi trees. And he asked his Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was 144 years old at that time. And he and his servant Bihari used to carry him on a basket. So as soon as Jagannath Das Babaji arrived at the place, this particular place, although he was 144 years old, he simply jumped out of the basket as if like a 20-year-old boy and said, "Yehi che, yehi che. This is the place. This is the place." So in that way, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur confirmed through great Vaishnava Jagannath Das Babaji that this is the actual birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thereafter, he started collecting the funds for building the temple. He went to Orissa, Bengal, and Bihar, and he requested practically everybody. And we can imagine the position of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a chief district magistrate in the British government. And he was also the administrator of Jagannath Puri temple in Jagannath Puri before he came to Navdeep Dham. And British government had a lot of respect for him, extreme respect for him. And but you can see such a person of such a high caliber, of such a high devotion. He is practically knocking and begging at each one of the house of the door of every householder to give some money to prepare a temple here. So the reason why Bhakti Vinoda Thakur also did was because he wanted that everybody, whoever makes a donation, should own the temple. That was the main thing. So this temple was established and completed in 1906. Later, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saroj Thakur's, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saroj Thakur, he built the temple again in 1934, which was inaugurated on the Gaur Purnima Day in 1935. And as we know in the bona fide scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yuga Avatar for this age of Kali Yuga. And in the age of Kali, the intelligent persons performing the congregational chanting to the worship of incarnation of God, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not black, he is Krishna himself. He is the accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential confidential companion. So this is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter number 5, verse 32. And this is the actual site of Yoga Peeth temple. That's another picture of Yoga Peeth. And this is the neem tree under which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And because he appeared under the neem tree, his mother Sachi gave him the name Nimai. Next to the neem tree is the actual hut, the actual residence where his father Jagannath Mishra and mother Sachi Mata lived. And this is the picture, this is the murtis of Sachi Mata holding baby Nimai along with his father Jagannath Mishra chanting Hare Krishna Japa. And this is the deity of Shishi Radha Madhav, which was installed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur at Yoga Peeth. And this is the this is the picture of the deities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his wives Lakshmi Devi Thakurani and Vishnu Priya Thakurani. And towards the back side of the Yoga Peeth temple is Gaur Gadadhar deities and Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple. And this is a very special place. It is the Gaur Kund. Just in front of Yoga Peeth is a big Gaur Kund. This is the place where the householders in Yoga Peeth at the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they used to take bath, wash their utensils. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to take bath here. Very beautiful place. And in front of that is a nice garden. And on the side of it, there's a murti of, in a separate small temple, a murti of Bhakti Vinoda Thakur. And this is a very important place because our Navadip Pandit Parikrama starts from this place and culminates back after 9 days at this place. And all the Parikrama parties, they're joined back here and they have a very, very joyous, glorious kirtans here. Very beautiful sight. This is another picture of devotees returning back from Navadip Pandit Parikrama. Next to Yoga Peeth is Srivas Angan, and this is actually the birthplace of the Harinam Sankirtan movement, because this is the house of Srivas Pandit, a very close associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and just it's about 200 meters walking distance from Yoga Peeth. And this place is also called Khol Banga Danga because here the mridangas were broken by Chand Kazi to stop the Harinam Sankirtan. And here initially for many, many months, there used to be closed door night kirtans of Hare Krishna kirtans here, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and only few of his confidential associates used to take part. Nobody outsider were allowed to take part, although they were so keen to take part of it. And later, some of the Samarth Brahmanas became very envious, and they approached the Chand Kazi, who was the district magistrate at that time, in 500 years back. He was a Muslim ruler. And they started complaining that there's no description of Harinam Sankirtan in Hindu Dharma, and they're chanting at night time and all that. So he filled the ear of Chand Kazi, and then Chand Kazi sent 4 boats of his soldiers, and they went to Shiva's Angan place, this place, and they broke the mridangas and they threatened the devotees that no longer you can chant Hare Krishna Kirtan. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know about this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked that gather all the devotees from all the corners of Navadip Dham and ask them to come and assemble at this place, and we will, in the evening, we will walk all the way from here to Chand Kazi's place, chanting the Hare Krishna Sankirtan. So that was the first public Harinam Sankirtan which happened. And there were 4 Parikrama parties. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu led one, Nityananda Prabhu led another, Haridas Thakur led another, and Srivas Pandit led another. And there were roras kirtan, amazing kirtans. And it is said that all the demigods were also joined. And it happened for a long, long time. And finally, they reached Chand Kazi's place, and there Chand Kazi surrendered to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he gave Kunti, and telling that yes, this Harinam Sankirtan will happen Nobody can stop Harinam Sankirtan in Navadip, and it will happen for generations and generations to come. So this is a very special significance of Shiva's Angan. And these are the deities of Panchatattva there at Shiva's Angan. And this is one of the Mridanga, which was broken by Chand Kazi. So we can see here at the Shiva's Angan. And the beautiful gardens over there, they lead to Advaita Bhavan. Advaita Bhavan is the place where Shri Advaitacharya lived in Mayapur. His main residence was in Shantipur, about 1 hour from Mayapur. But whenever he was here in the Navadip, Advaitacharya lived here. And next to it is Gadadhar Bhavan, the house of Gadadhar Pandit. The next place is Sri Chaitanya Math, which is non-different from the forest of Vrindavan in Mayapur. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established this in 1918, which was also his sannyas year. And he called it as Vrindavan Patan. And this by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's spiritual potency, there is Sham Kund, Radha Kund, Giri Govardhan, which is manifested here. This is the Samadhi of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur at the Sri Chaitanya Math. This is the Sham Kund. This is the temple of Shri Radha Gandharvika Giridhari. And the very beautiful deities of Shri Radha Gandharvika Giridhari and Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu at Sri Chaitanya Math. And also there is a Samadhi temple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, spiritual master of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This is the Samadhi of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. And this is the Giri Govardhan established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And this is Radha Kund, beautiful Radha Kund at Sri Chaitanya Math. And next we are going to Sri Murari Gupta's house and Sri Sitaram temple. Murari Gupta was an eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was there from the very beginning of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Like they were going to the same school in the early age. And Murari Gupta was a great devotee of Lord Ram. And he was also a physician. He was a doctor. And Murari Gupta, he was such a fervent devotee of Lord Ram. Later, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to induce him to become a devotee of Lord Krishna. And one time, Murari Gupta, he couldn't sleep the whole night. He was simply meditating what to do about it. So Murari Gupta, next day morning, he came to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, said that I would like to now commit suicide. He said, why? He said, because I can't leave the lotus feet of Lord Ram. And at that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Murari Gupta and said, yes, you don't have to do the suicide. You are as dedicated as Hanuman was dedicated to Lord Ram. You are dedicated to Lord Ram, same way. And later in the Mahaprakash Leela pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that he is non-different from his beloved Lord Ram. So this is amazing pastime which happened with Murari Gupta. And these are his deities, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman at Murari Gupta's house. And this is the Parikrama party. They spend some time here every year discussing about the pastimes of Murari Gupta. And the next is ISKCON Sri Mayapur Chandradeva Temple. So we have a very, very big campus at ISKCON Mayapur, and Shri Radha Madhav Ashtashakis are the presiding deities at the temple. This is another beautiful photo of Shri Radha Madhav and Shri Panchatattva, Lord Narasimhadev, and His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And this is the Srila Prabhupada's Push Samadhi Mandir at ISKCON Mayapur campus. This is the Push Samadhi of Srila Prabhupada. And the dome of the Push Samadhi temple is very, very tall, and we can see very beautiful photos on which are carved there on at the top of the dome. And this is the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Prabhupada. So initially when Srila Prabhupada and the devotees came here in Mayapur in early 1970s, this area was covered practically with all the rice fields. There was nothing here, no buildings whatsoever. So Srila Prabhupada stayed here at the Bhajan, at this Bhajan Kutir, which his disciples made for him. And this is the TOVP, the Temple of Vedic Planetarium, which all of us know is being developed here at Mayapur. And once 500 years back, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took Jiva Goswami on the Navadip Mandal Parikrama. And while going for Parikrama, Lord Nityananda Prabhu predicted that there's going to be a gigantic temple which will be constructed. So this is the temple of Vedic Planetarium which is constructed, which Lord Nityananda Prabhu predicted. And it's really gigantic. The TOVP's, the size of the TOVP's dome is second biggest after St. Peter Basilica at the Vatican City. Besides, there is Mayapur Goshala, big Goshala there, and lots of mother cows at the Goshala. And you can get a lot of products as well. You can get ghee, milk, many other Ayurvedic products at the Goshala shop right in front of it. And every year there's a big Hare Krishna Kirtan Mela at the ISKCON Mayapur temple. Thousands of devotees come from all over the world, they attend it. This is another glimpse of it. And the lotus feet of Shishi Radha Madhav. Next to the ISKCON temple, about 300 meters walking distance from there, from the main gate, is the Nanda Nacharya's house, who was a very big associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu met for the first time. And in fact, Lord Nityananda Prabhu hid himself here at this place. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a day before the meeting, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked all his associates that a great personality has come to Navadip, and please go house to house and find out who this great personality is. And at the end of the day, please come to me and report that what are your findings. And the devotees went to all corners of Navadip Dham. They knocked at the doors of everybody. In the end, they reported in the evening, sorry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we couldn't find anybody. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and he took all his associates to Nanda Nacharya's house, straight to the Nanda Nacharya's house. And there Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met for the very first time. So a very special place here. This is Nanda Nacharya's Bhavan. And these are beautiful deities at Nanda Nacharya's Bhavan, Shishi Radha Vinoda Bihari, and Lord Narasimhadev Gaur Nitai. And this is the actual exact spot where Lord Nityananda Prabhu hid. So very nice altar out there. The next place is the second island, which is the Simanta Dweep, which represents Shravanam process. So here there's a Chand Kazi Samadhi, Rajapur Jagannath Temple, and Kolavicha Sridhar's Angan. So as I mentioned about Chand Kazi, he was the district magistrate, a Muslim district magistrate out here in Navadip, and he tried to stop the Harinam Sankirtan. So this is the place where his palace was, where this tree lies in Simantadweep. And here's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chand Kazi. Chand Kazi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chand Kazi surrendering to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is the Kunti which I was talking of, which Chand Kazi gave as a proof to authorize that public chanting of the holy names within his district. And during the Navadip Mandal Parikrama, very nice dramas which happen with the Chand Kazi drama. It's another glimpse of that drama. Next to Chand Kazi's place, about a kilometer from there, or maybe half a kilometer, is Rajapur Jagannath Temple. It is non-different from Jagannath Puri, and there's a special pastime how Lord Jagannath came here on the request of his great devotee, Gangoli. There was a devotee by name Jagadish Gangoli. And at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to go to Jagannath Puri to attend Rath Yatra and associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he became very old, and the leprosy caught him. So he could not travel to Jagannath Puri one of the years. So then he was very, very morose, and Lord Jagannath appeared in a dream, and he told that next day morning when you go and take bath at the Ganges River, a log of wood will touch you. Take that particular log of wood to a certain carpenter and carve the deities of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. And Lord also said that initially the carpenter will hesitate to carve it, but you have to pursue him to carve it. And as the deities get carved, same way your leprosy will go away. So this is what exactly happened, and these are the deities that were carved of Shishi Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And this is also temple of Simantani Devi and Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu at Rajapur. And also there is the memorial of His Grace Jayananda Thakur, the first saint in ISKCON who started the Rath Yatra festivals in 1960s. And also there's a temple of, there's a Shivling of Lord Shiva, which is also known as Kshetrapal. Then next to it is the Sridhar Angan, the Kolavecha Sridhar's place. Kolavecha Sridhar was a really very poor, really very, very poor person, but he was a great devotee. He used to chant Hare Krishna all night. And his name was Kola Vecha Sridhar. Kola means banana, Vecha means seller. So he was selling bananas, banana roots, banana leaves and plates. And he used to spend 50% of the money which he used to sell on Mother Ganges. And all night he used to chant, and the neighborhood, they used to shout at him and say, "Why are you chanting and disturbing everybody at midnight chanting?" But he was very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Kolavecha Sridhar had many pastimes together. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a very playful mood, sometimes used to take the bananas, didn't used to make the payment. So like this, so many pastimes happened which Sridhar. And the place, this is a temple, this very small place where he lived, that is within the big fields just behind the Rajapur temple. There are big fields, beautiful fields, and there you'll find this particular place. And during the Navdeep Mandal Parikrama, many transcendentalists come, they enact the pastime of Kolavecha Sridhar and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the glimpses of that. The next island is the third island, the Godrum Dweep Island. There are many places here that are very important of importance and significance. We'll cover them. The first place is Sri Narsimhapalli. Narsimhapalli is a very ancient temple of Lord Narasimhadev here. And when Lord Narasimhadev appeared at Ahobilam, and after killing Hiranyakashipu, later he was very angry, and then he was appeased by Prahlad Maharaj. He came to this place in Navadip and spent some time. And when he came here, all the demigods also came, and they also constructed their residences. So that's why this place is called Narsimhapalli or Devapalli. So, and there in front of it, there's a Mandakini River which flows. So this is the ancient deity of Lord Narasimhadev from Satyuga time. And this is the Mandakini River. And this is the Transcendentalists discussing the pastimes of Lord Narasimhadev during the Navdeep Mandal Parikrama. And they are moving now to the next place, which is Panchalanthala. Panchalanthala is the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took rest, and it is at the southeastern corner of the Navdeep Dham. And here is a photo of devotees partaking prasadam during Navdeep Mandal Parikrama. And then we go to another place called Harihara Kshetra. So Harihara is half Vishnu and half Shiva. So when Shiva's kingdom was burnt up, the Kashi was burnt up, as mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, by the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Krishna. So he had no place to live. So he came to this place. Lord Shiva came to this place, and to show affection, then it's the deity of half Vishnu and half Shiva is there. Very beautiful deities. In 1997, some thief came and they stole this particular deity, and then there was a court case ensued to whom this deity belonged, and for 4 years the court case was happening, and finally in 2001, a temple of Harihara was built here, amazed by ISKCON and others, and big grand festival was organized. This is the Harihara deities, half Vishnu and half Shiva. This is Amghata. So Amghata is the place while Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having a Sankirtan one day. In the middle of it, the devotees felt very hungry. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took one seed of the mango and he planted at this place. And from there, within minutes, so many mango trees came up. And again, from those mango trees, actually the mangoes came up. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed these mangoes, partook one of the mango, and then later with his own hands distributed mangoes to all the devotees. So this is called Amghata. There's the mango trees out here. Very beautiful place. Then we go to the Swan Vihar Gaudiya Math. Now this place, Swan Vihar Gaudiya Math, was in the Satyuga time, was a palace of King Swanasen. And he was a very materialistic king. But later, Narad Muni came, and he imparted him the transcendental knowledge of practicing Krishna consciousness in the human life. So on the instructions of Narad Muni, he became a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he gave up all his life for practicing Krishna consciousness. So this is the place where his palace was, and the deities out here, Shri Radha Madhav and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And these are the stones from the golden age from his palace. And during Navdeep Mandal Parikrama, this is one of the main spot where all the Maharajas come, they discuss the Gaura Katha. Here we can see the photo of His Holiness Japataka Swami Maharaj discussing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Next place is the Swananda Sukhad Kunj, the residence of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, as I was mentioning, was chief district magistrate of Jagannath Puri, and he many times tried to come to Navdeep Dham because he wanted to stay in Navdeep Dham close to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the British government did not agree. And finally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave a resignation to the British government that he can't work, he has to go to Navdeep Dham. So then British government took it very seriously and rejected his application and said, we'll make a transfer for you in Navdeep Dham. So he was shifted to Godhran Dweep Island, and there his house is there. And he was posted in Krishnanagar, which is not far from Navdeep Dham. And British government at that time specially laid a railway line right in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, which runs right in front of Bhaktivinoda's house to the Krishnanagar. And there was one special compartment, the railway compartment was there only for Bhaktivinoda Thakur for his coming and going. So much importance and respect British government gave to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And these are Gaur Gadadhar deities worshipped by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And this is the Samadhi of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur at Swananda Sukhat Kunj. And the back of his back of him is his very dedicated servant Krishna Das. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji also used to come here sometimes. They used to discuss the Krishna Katha. And this is the railway line which I was talking of. This is right in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. And they formed the World Vaishnava Association back in 1800. This is the personal bed of Bhaktivinoda Thakur at Swananda Sukhat Kunj. And this is the photo of Transcendentalists discussing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Next place is Surabhi Kunj. This place is where Markandeya Rishi used to live, and also Surabhi cow resides here eternally. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu established the headquarters of the Namhatta preaching here. These are Transcendentalists having big kirtans. The next island is the Madhyadvip Island. So the places to visit here are the Hamsavahana, Naimisharanya Forest, Brahmana Pushkara, Kurukshetra, Panchaveni, and the Gauranga Setu. So this is Hamsavahana. Once there was a Gaur Katha, like we have the Srimad Bhagavatam Katha happening at the Naimisharanya, which is in Uttar Pradesh. So Gaur Katha was happening with all the Transcendentalists. And Lord Shiva came to know. So he came on a swan. Hamsa means swan, because his main vehicle is bull, but bull would have taken a long time to come from Himalayas to this place. So he took a Hamsa, the swan. So we see Lord Shiva is Vaishwanam Yatha Shambhu. He is the greatest of the Vaishnava, as Srimad Bhagavatam 12th Canto describes. And he's one of the 12 Mahajans. So how keen he was to hear the Gaur Katha. And this is the Naimisharanya forest. Devotees performing drama and kirtan and various pastimes. Beautiful cows. And this place is called Brahmana Pushkar. In Satyuga, there was a Brahmana. He was traveling all over India to various holy places. So he came to Navadip Dham. But by the time he became very old and very tired, so he stayed in this for many years. But he had great desire to visit Pushkar in Rajasthan. So he one day the personality of Pushkar appeared in his dream, and he said, "There's a nearby lake. You take path." And that is non-different from Pushkar in Rajasthan. So he did exactly that. And the personality of Pushkar also said that all the holy places of India, they reside here in Navadip Dham. So that's the point, that all the places of the holy places reside in the Navadip Dham. So we can see Pushkar here. Near the Pushkar, little walking distance, this place is called Kurukshetra. So Kurukshetra, which is in Haryana, northern India, is actually resides here as well. And unfortunately, at the moment, it is enclosed by the brick-making factory. This is the Panchaveni, where 5 sacred rivers meet. And the Gauranga Setu. This is the Gauranga Setu, which connects one island to the another. Next is the island 5, which is Koladweep. This is very important island, and the places to visit are the Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu Temple, Jagannath Das Babaji Bhajan Kutir, and Samudragarh. So this is very special deities of Sri Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, and these deities are of very special significance because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave these deities to his wife Vishnupriya just before he took sannyas. And here, usually we can see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's hands raised, but here those hands are pointing out, which saying that I am yours. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's this deity is given to Gauranga Mahaprabhu to his wife Vishnupriya, and Vishnupriya was only 16 years old, and every day she used to chant Hare Krishna Japa here in front of the deities. And she had 2 pots, one empty pot and another pot filled with grains of the rice. So every full round, 108 beats she used to chant. she used to keep one grain of rice to the empty pot. So as many rounds she used to chant, so that many grains she used to put, and at the end of the day she used to cook those grains and eat it. This happened for rest 80 years because Vishnupriya, she lived for 96 years. So imagine the amazing dedication of Srimati Vishnupriya Thakurani in Krishna consciousness, and these are actual 500 years old deities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is the Paduka of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu temple. And very big kirtans happen during Navdeep Mandal Parikrama here at Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu temple. Next place is the Bhajan Kutir of Jagannath Das Babaji, which is not far from Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu temple. This is where Jagannath Das Babaji lived, because as I mentioned, he lived for 146 years here at the Navdeep Dham. This is his Samadhi, and these were the worshipful deities of Jagannath Das Babaji. And this is Samudragarh. Here there was a king by name Samudragarh. He was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And here his palace was there, so that's the place of Samudragarh. And the next island is the Ritudweep, and here very important place of Champahati, and Jayadev Goswami's residence is there. Then there are also replica of hidden Radhakund and Shamkund, and also birthplace of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Vidyanagar. These are the deities at Champahati of Gaur Gadadhar. Very special deities. They're 500 years old deities. And here Dvijavani Das, the younger brother of Gadadhar Pandit, also lived. And one time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit came to visit Dvijavani Das, Dvijavani Nath. So Dvijavani Nath didn't want it to get separated again from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him these two deities. Then Dvijavani Nath, he said, okay, you enter these deities. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu entered these deities. Then he said, you come out, you enter like this. Such a pastime happened here, very special pastime. And the very tall deities of Gaur Gadadhar, very special one. Here also Srila Jayadev Goswami, who composed Geet Govinda, he had his residence here. So very special place. This is the pastime of Geet Govinda being enacted during Navdeep Mandal Parikrama. Transcendentalist having Charnamrit and the Darshan. And this is Dvijavani Nath. And then we come to Ratupura, which is where there is a replica of Radhakund and Shamkund. Next place is the birthplace of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was an associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. And this is where the school of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. And these are the pen trees which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put his pen, and the whole tree came out. And as per the botanical scientists from Kolkata, they said that they have been investigating for many, many years, but doing a lot of research, but they haven't been able to find the species of these trees. And actually they are transcendental trees, very special ones. And next island is the Janudweep Island. This is the place where Janu Muni lived, and he had the darshan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Then the next island is Modhrum Dweep. And in Modhrum Dweep, there is Saranga Murari Thakur's house. Saranga Murari Thakur was a very eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who lived here, and he worshipped the deities of Radha Gopinath and Gaur Gadadhar. So very beautiful deities of Murari Gupta, and many pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Saranga Murari took place here. And this is called Vishwambhar's Siddha Bakul tree. It's a very old tree, over 500 years old. And at that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once he was going to his school, um, and this tree was getting very dried and about to die. And he asked Saranga Murari, what do you think is the hope of this tree? Then Saranga Murari said that without your mercy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no hope for this tree. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually hugged this tree and it became Siddha Bakul, eternally liberated. So this is, you can say, big hole here, but it's full of blooming with nice branches, leaves, very nice. And this was the Maharaj who was taking care of Murari Gupta's house for many years. He was around 100 years old. He just passed away 2-3 years back. And this is Vasudev Datta, one of the great associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house, ruins of his house here. And this is the birthplace of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur is composer of Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat. He was the last and the dearmost disciple of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And this is his birthplace here, actual birthplace of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And these are the deities established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur at Vrindavan Thakur's birthplace in Mamgachi. And then the last island is Rudradweep. This was the house of Sachi Mata's father, Nilambar Chakravarti, and he worshipped these deities of Lord Krishna. So these are 1,700 years old deities worshipped here at Rudradweep. And this is the Rudradweep Gauriya Mat. This is the deity of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, in front of which Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he took a vow to chant 1 billion names of Hare Krishna Mahamantra before embarking on the preaching mission. This took about 9 to 10 years for Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to complete it. And why it is said that when it used to rain heavily, all Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to do was take an umbrella in his one hand and japa beat in the other hand and keep on chanting. Very special temple there. And more details on Navadip Mandal Parikrama can be got on the website in dandavars.com, or please visit, as Vanmali Pandit Prabhu was mentioning, holy-pilgrimages.com website. There's many articles of Navadip Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, South India, Dwarika Dham, Northeast India, and many other places are there. Please visit this website. And now we'll also quickly visit the Gauranga Bari temple in Katwa. This is the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas 500 years back in the year 1510, sorry. He took sannyas in Katwa from Keshav Bharati. So these are deities there. Katwa is not far from Navadip. It is about 1 hour if you go from the Navadip town, and it is 2 hours from the Antardweep Island where ISKCON Mayapur temple is, because it's a bit of a U-turn trip. And this is the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hair tonsure happened. The barber Madhu, he cut the hair of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He shaved the hair. And this is the tree underneath Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shaved his hair. Very deep pastime is there about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas, because so many devotees were greatly aggrieved that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking sannyas, but he had to take a sannyas for us actually, because he wanted to preach Krishna consciousness to one and all, to the people of Kali Yuga. So that the message could be more influential, he actually took sannyas. But to his confidential associates, to his close associates, including his mother Sachi, it was a very deep pain that he took sannyas and went away from Mayapur. So these are Transcendentalists discussing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sannyas. This is another murti of There's another photo of Gauranga Bari temple. And about 4 kilometers from Gauranga Bari is the important place called Yajigram. Yajigram is the place where the three stalwart Vaishnavas, Narottam Das Thakur, Shivas Acharya, and Ramachandra Kaviraj lived. So we know a famous bhajan, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Tuma Bhina Ke Dayalu, Jagat Samsari. Very famous Vaishnava bhajan sang by Narottam Das Thakur. And the last two lines are that Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. So this Ramachandra is the same person, Ramachandra Kaviraj. And Ramachandra Kaviraj, he was an associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they lived here at Yajigram. It's a very nice temple here. This is the Bhajan Kutir of Shivas Acharya. So Ramachandra Kaviraj and Narottam Das Thakur, they were great associates. They were so great friends. They were one soul and one body, actually. This is the Madhai Tala temple in Katwa. This is a place where Jagai and Madai, they chanted Hare Krishna after they were delivered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is Panihati. Panihati is about 1 hour from Kolkata, and a place called Sodipur. And this is the place where very big Panihati Chira Dohi Mahotsav happens every year, and very big pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu happened here. And this is a temple dedicated for that pastime. This is the ISKCON temple there in Panihati. And in Panihati also was Raghav Pandit's Bhavan. Raghav Pandit was an eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he and his sister Devyanti were very big cooks, and they, Damayanti, they were very big cooks, and they used to cook so nicely for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that he eternally lives in their kitchen. There's so much love. So this is a kitchen of Raghav Pandit and his sister. Ekachakra Dham, birthplace of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. This is the Garbhavas, the Sutika Mandir, the actual spot where Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared. These are the deities of Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu at Harai Pandit's Bhavan, the father of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And there are some very important places to visit in the past times in Ekachakra Dham. And even the Pandavas spent during their exile some time here in Ekachakra, and Bhima, he killed the Bakasur demon. And this is the fossil kneecap of Bakasur demon in nearby village of Ekachakra Dham. A very important temple of Bakerai at Ekachakra Dham. This is the place where Lord Nityananda Prabhu entered the deities of Bakerai. And this is the Yamuna River also, which flows here in Ekachakra Dham, which is non-different from which flows in Vrindavan. And ISKCON has constructed a very nice temple at Ekachakra, very beautiful deities of Shri Gaur Nitai, sorry. Then next place is Ulta Danga Junction, which is the meeting place of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada for the first time in 1922. And the last place is the Kolkata ISKCON temple, Shri Radha Govinda temple, which is in ISKCON, which is in Kolkata, and they have got the guest house, also Govinda's restaurant. And more details on Navdeep Mandal Parikrama can be got on these websites on dandavars.com and the holypilgrimages.com website. So please do visit these websites. Thank you so much for having me for this Navdeep Mandal Parikrama, and that one very special day of just before the Gaura Purnima festival. Thank you so much, Vanmali Pandit Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for joining us today and sharing us this Holy Dham Parikrama, virtual Holy Dham Parikrama. It was really great, and the timing was perfect. Despite of different challenges, we could make it. Thank you, Prabhu, on behalf of entire ISKCON Boston. I take this opportunity to thank you and to appreciate your holy association online.
Thank you so much.
Pray. Yeah, we do pray that we may get your association in the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Apologies for any glitches, but I think Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, now we have the